I currently play in two different bands. In this video, I'm going to talk about the originals band that I play in, where we write and record our own songs. That band is called Blind Pig Truffle. Hello, I'm Paul Douglas. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, then please consider clicking that subscribe button down there and hitting the notification bell to get notified of new videos. Now, I play in two bands at the moment, a covers band called CodeOut and an originals band called Blind Pig Truffle. This video is about the originals band Blind Pig Truffle. For a video about CodeOut, then see the link below to a video I posted a few days ago. Now, Blind Pig Truffle is, I guess, a rock, loosely, sort of a rock band, I suppose, based around the East Midlands of the UK, although the drummer does live in London. What we write is pretty much whatever we feel at the time in whatever genre, but sort of loosely you might term it rock. We've written stuff from sort of 3-minute pop songs up to ridiculous 9-minute prog rock epics. Now, the origins of Blind Pig Truffle can be traced back to about 15 years ago, probably, when I started playing in a covers band called A Barrel Full of Monkeys with a guy who is now a very good friend of mine called Simon. Now, although we played exclusively covers in A Barrel Full of Monkeys, Simon and I got talking and we both had a similar goal in that we wanted to write and record our own music. And we talked about that quite a lot back then. Now, that's all we did, though. We just talked about it. Nothing actually happened towards that goal. And then a couple of years later, Simon moved out to Brussels with his work. And he lived there for about 5 or 6 years. We kept in touch during that time. Indeed, I visited him out there a couple of times and played gigs with the band that Simon was playing out there. Then about 4 or 5 years ago, Simon moved back to the UK and that topic of writing our own music again came up. Except this time we didn't just talk about it, we actually started doing it. We may be slow, but we get there in the end. Now, I remember our very first writing session together quite vividly, even though we've played in several bands together and get on very well. We didn't actually know if we would be able to write together. Now, I can remember as we went through a load of ideas we both had and decided to develop a little piano riff idea of mine. And then about 3 hours later, and the basis of a good song having been formed, our fears were pretty much allayed. That song is called More in the Mix, and I'll play you a segment of it now.
I know it's all my fault for being irresistible. When I started out, no one knew my face.
So over the next year or so, we wrote a fair bit together, adding in an old song of mine that I wrote probably almost 20 years ago now, called Calm Down.
So calm down, please won't you calm down? Come on, calm down for me. Calm down, please won't you calm down? Come on, calm down for me. Calm down for me. So preoccupied with what they say.
And in 2016, we decided that we wanted to record some of the songs that we'd written properly in a recording studio. So we got together 6 of our songs, took the demos out to a studio in Brussels, run by one of Simon's old bandmates from out there. And it was at that time that we recorded our fantastic drummer Georgina. who's another one of Simon's old Brussels bandmates. She now lives in London, as I mentioned earlier. So we had a great few days in Brussels recording vocals, drums and whatever else we needed that couldn't be reused from the demos we took out there, and ended up with 6 well-recorded songs. Now, for various reasons that I'm not going to go into here, it's taken us till this point, pretty much 3 years later, to begin the mixing of those songs, and hopefully we shall be in a position to release them, well, 5 of them before the end of this year. There's one that we're not quite happy with, and we think we're not going to abandon it, but we think it needs some reworking. Now, excitingly, over the last year or so, we have been recruiting more and more musicians with the aim of taking Blind Pig Truffle live. So now we have David on the guitar and backing vocals, and Richard on the keyboards. Now I'm going to have to tell you the where the name Blind Pig Truffle comes from, because I know people will ask. It comes from one of Simon's favourite sayings, even a blind pig finds a truffle sometimes. And that is where it comes from, you know, Blind Pig Truffle. When Simon explained that to me and mentioned that was the name he was thinking of calling the band, I jumped at it. I thought it was brilliant. So that is where Blind Pig Truffle comes from. So we are still writing music. We have probably another 4 songs that are demoable now, I guess, and loads more in various stages of development. We're also writing a big 15 minutes long prog rock epic, although you might actually call it prog pop, if anything, because a lot of it's actually quite poppy. And of course we're also rehearsing, you know, with the 6 of us together, with an aim to get these songs played live in front of an audience, as all music should be. So stay tuned to this YouTube channel for more news about Blind Pig Truffle in the future, and indeed my own solo music. Thanks for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, then please click that subscribe button down there and the notification bell to get notified of new videos. And don't forget to check out the links in the description below. Keep making music, and I'll see you again in the next video. Cheers.